Hi guys, this is Stones. This is no news that I've been terrible at trading the last 6 months, 7 months actually. I've been wondering what was wrong with my trading. And in trading, you can have a lot of feelings about what is wrong and think that something might be. But unless you go back and crunch your data, you don't have a clear answer. Only the data and journaling your trades is going to tell you what you're doing wrong. You might think that you need to cut your trades at 2 hours because you hold them for too long and go back through your journal and realize you're actually doing right by doing it this way. This is what happened to me lately. I had this feeling first of there's a lot of trades that I think I've closed because they were not behaving the way I wanted, that I think went to target. I think I was right a lot of time, and I ended up just shooting myself in the foot by closing early because it wasn't behaving the right way, or price going into my drawdown and cutting a few points from my stop loss when actually my stop loss was at the right place. From that idea, I went back through my journal and I went back through the whole lot of the 7 last months to see what I did wrong and if that was one of the reasons. November is when I started to have my losing weeks and to really struggle in trading. The thing is that a lot of things happened in November. I quit the community I was in and I started trading by myself. I changed the way I trade in a few points and tried to simplify it. I did a lot of backtesting about this new improvement in my trading to see if it was working, and it was. I stopped trading altcoins as well at this time. And there's a fourth one, which is quite big, is I was still in my year of full-time trading, not working, and I was running really low on my savings. And that added a lot of pressure in my trading, which I wasn't fully aware at the beginning. And I always thought that I wasn't subject to that pressure, but I was. There's actually a fifth one, which is I started documenting and sharing my journey with people instead of Discord. Maybe a lot of pressure from people watching what I was doing and putting it out there. And since December, doing it on X and on YouTube as well. But I don't think I had that much pressure from sharing what I was doing. I do believe it is what it is. I share what I go through and I want to be that honest person. So even if I lose, I don't think that I have any pressure. I don't think there's that many people watching anyway. The fact of losing the community, I don't think it's been an issue, and the data doesn't say that it's been an issue because I was still getting guidance, but my trading has been on quite on point actually, even if the results are not showing it. It's not like I was lost without them. I was like, I'm actually doing really fine without it, and I think I've got a lot of peace of mind by being by myself. It is difficult being a trader by yourself and not being able to talk with people. But the problem with communities is sort of have too much that vibe of everybody's winning together and then you struggling and you lose, and you have this bad feeling when you're actually not. Like there's no one in there that is actually really making it. One of the big points that I only realized by going back through my trades is this is actually the time when I stopped trading altcoins. And I don't think it was an issue because my overall trading was slightly profitable. I think I had a 30% win rate with a 2.5 or average. So my trading was break even slightly profitable before November, and it was encompassing altcoins and Bitcoin and Ethereum. I really felt that altcoins were taking too much mental strength, and I had to scan them in on top of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I wanted to reduce the workload. I really thought that my win rate and average win will stay the same. I went back through last year from March when I quit working to fully focus on trading. And I realized through my journal, TradeZella, and I realized that around 80% of my profits were made from altcoins. So altcoins were actually the reason why I was making a little bit of money overall. So I went back through maybe 150 trades out of last year's, not all of them, but a part of them, and especially the winning ones, trying to see if I was treating altcoins differently, if I was holding them for longer, if I was not cutting my trades when they're not playing the way I wanted. And I realized I was actually trading them the same way. It was maybe more so because we were still in that excitement of the bull run before we had that October crash. And I think they had more movement when Bitcoin and Ethereum were only moving a little bit. Altcoins had a bigger push, so I had bigger risk to reward trades on those, and that compensated for the few losses I had on Bitcoins and my average wins on Ethereum, and that's where all the profits were coming from. So if altcoins were not treated differently, what's stopping me from making money just from Bitcoin and Ethereum? And this is a really big one. I was running low on savings and I had to find a job, which I did find pretty quickly. But then I was sort of catching up on finances in my personal life, and it did added pressure on my trading. And that's when I started trading out of fear. And trading out of fear made me less confident in a lot of entries. So I was listening less to my intuition. I became more entry criteria oriented in my trades with confirmations, which is a good point. But my intuition, from my experience of my 3 years of trading, has been right most of the time. Uh, it's just that I wasn't following sharp entry setups that I wanted. And I started over analyzing those trades and having an idea of what the market would do. And if the market wasn't doing it in the first half an hour, actually going back below a certain invalidation point, which wasn't my stop loss, but on the way there, I would cut those trades. I thought I was protecting myself from more losses by doing so, which I did on a lot of trades, like cutting at break even or cutting at half a risk loss instead of a full risk. But I thought I was doing it more often than not. And going back through my data, I realized that I was actually stopping myself from having a lot of profits on a lot of trades. So my entries were good, my idea and reasoning was good. The only thing is price didn't play out like I wanted personally in those first minutes or hours. And then that's when I cut the trade. But my first idea had an invalidation point, which was my stop loss, and I should have let those trade play out because price is never going to do what I want it to do. But my invalidation point is good, my entry is good, so I have to let it play out and respect that I've got a 2 hour rule, which after 2 hours, if price is not behaving the way I want, either it's still valid and I stay in this trade, I just move my stop loss closer, I get out if it's taking too long and it should have moved faster. But all those trades that I was cutting and over managing before that 2 hour mark, all the trades that costed me the most wins. It costed me that much that on the month that I was doing 10% win rate, if I did not touch those trades, and we're going to go through the numbers in my Excel sheets that I did, I would have had a 45% win rate, which is something I never had before when I was slightly profitable. I was hovering around 30%, 35%. So it tells a lot. It's like my trading clearly improved, my knowledge improved, my intuitions improved, that the result would have been better. But this amount of knowledge made me think that I was able to decide what the market was going to do exactly. And when it wasn't, I was cutting those trades, and those trades were still playing out in the end. So the hidden problem here was that the pressure from life was impacting my trading and changed my behavior. And I thought I was getting smarter by protecting myself, and I was actually costing me a lot. I just wanted to avoid losses that much that I wasn't taking the wins. And I think I've heard it from people before talking about that knowledge trap of I know too much and I overthink everything. I don't enter a trade for a reason, or I cut it for some reason. And in your early days, that's why sometimes you have a lot more success, or you have that beginner's luck thing, is because you don't think too much. There's 2, 3 entry criteria. You take those trades, you let them play out, you leave your stop where it needs to be. Sometimes you might miss your target because your target might be wrong, but your entry and your stop losses are good. And you maybe have to go back to those times where sort of a little bit dumb it down and stop overthinking everything. I need to have less fear, be more confident about my setups, let play that intuition and discretionary trading a lot more because I have the skills. And sometimes you sort of really can't put words on why you know it's going to do it. You have this pattern recognition in your mind that's going to tell you, I've seen this before. I know, I'm pretty sure what it's going to do. And you might not have the triggers for your actual trade to plain, but it's worth the risk. You need to sort out your life before you can trade properly. You need no stress, no external pressure, especially no money pressure. And you must be in a really relaxed state and environment. And that's where you're going to trade the best. I'm really keen on moving forward on all this. I know what I have to do, which is not much, which is let those trades play out early, stop worrying. I might take more full losses rather than a break even or half of a risk loss, but I'm going to take way more wins. And that's what the data told me. You do have to crunch those numbers. You can't go back and test all these things if you haven't journaled. Journal is a must do. So this is what you do. You go into TradeZilla, you go into your trade views, you select the date range you want to go back to, which is what I did. Went from, let's say, when I was having a really good trading, end of July, until the start of November, when I was trading prop firms. Select those dates, and you're going to see all the trades you had. So you see here 33% win rate with a 2.5 or average, which puts me slightly profitable. And then you just click all those trades and review them and see what you did at the time. All these screenshots that I can go back to. I have my notes down here. And that's what I did. Went back through screenshots, went back through my thoughts, went back through my executions from all the trades I took with the altcoins from the 30th of July to the 30th of November when I was trading prop firms. What was the win rate? See here, BTC win rate was 10%, ETH win rate was 14, and the altcoins win rate was 42. So that told me a lot. Double check on those altcoin trades. What did I do differently? Did I hold for more than a session? Most of the times there was no, it means I was trading the same way I'm trading now. I wasn't changing any behavior. Most of my holds were within hours. Some of them were daily. You see, like I held this one for a day, but the win was done within hours. Same for this one. And then from going through all this, it could tell me, okay, the altcoins themselves is not like the stopping trading altcoins is not the problem itself. Like I wasn't trading them any other way. Maybe I had more volatility on them, but this wasn't the main issue. Then what did I do? I double checked from January of this year. So without trading the altcoins, all the trades I took, what was my result, the actual result, and what was my result that I had planned if I wasn't over managing that trade. So for example here, which trades did I cut earlier than my 2-hour mark? It was 12 of them, and only 3 of those 12 was a good call to call early. So that tells me straight away, I need to stop cutting my trades before that 2-hour mark because this is doing me a lot of wrong. You can see here, for example, this trade, these 2 trades, I thought I was protecting myself, which I did. Instead of taking a potential won or loss, full risk, I sort of went break even, but in the end, stopped myself from taking 6 risk units of profit. So over managing on those. Then I looked at my 2-hour mark. Is it still valid? Is it still something I want to do? And I did it 19 times, and only 5 of those 19s went against my TP. So of those 2-hour mark rule, I took 19, but only 5 of those 19 stopped me from taking profits, which means clearly here from data that my 2-hour mark rule is still a good rule. It does protect me a lot. And there's not that many times, this is about 25%. There's only 25% of the time that it's working against me. So leave that rule. Same as when I talked about, you might think about something that you've seen a couple times, and like having my stop loss too close was one. There's times where I'm like, I just got stopped out and trade went into my direction. But how many times did that actually happen? Is it something I need to fix? And there's only 5 times where my stop loss was too close and it went against me. So same here, do not change anything about my stop losses. They're right most of the time. This is a bit harder to judge. You have a lot of trades that don't go to your profit target, and then you go back to break even and you think, oh, I should have closed early, but you don't have a tail sign that tells you to close early. I looked as well as this, like how many trades could have closed in profit that I did not. And it was only 6 out of those 65 trades. So negligible as well. But yeah, this is what you have to do. And it took me days to do all this, but I was thriving doing this because I knew I was working towards finding solutions in my trading.